So this is the second page of notes. For this video, if you think you understand what you're doing, you can speed this up, you can fast forward and check your work. Number 11 is pretty much the same thing. We're going to subtract 8. This is negative 7 times x, so I'm going to bring that down. And 1 minus 8 is negative 7. Now, let's get this x by itself. Divide both sides by negative 7. We are dividing by a negative number, so our alligator mouth flip-flops. It becomes x is greater than or equal to a positive 1. For this, we're just practicing our steps, so I am going to skip graphing on a number line. On your homework, you will have to graph these on a number line. Number 12, n divided by negative 8 minus 5 less than negative 2. So remember, we're dividing by a negative there. I'm not going to use that first. I'm going to get rid of this minus sign. Plus 5 on both sides. N divided by negative 8. Negative 2 plus 5 is a positive 3. And to get our n by itself, we're going to multiply by negative 8 times negative 8. Bring down your n. Now we multiplied by a negative number. The number that we crossed off was negative. So the symbol flip-flops. N is greater than negative 24. Moving on down, give number 13 a try. There aren't any weird tricks in there. Number 14, there is a weird trick. So for this one, here is our inequality symbol. Subtract 5 on both sides. Bring down your negative 2 times x, less than or equal to 19 minus 5 is 14. So to isolate the x, you divide everything by negative 2. So x is greater than or equal to, we have to flip the symbol, negative 7. It's very weird at first, but the more you practice this, the more it just becomes second nature. Number 14 has the big trick in it. It's 3 minus 4x. So this minus actually goes with your variable. So it doesn't go with the 3. The 3 is actually a positive 3. So when we want to move this 3, you subtract it. Remember, every number has a plus or minus sign in front of it. If there's nothing there, it means it's an invisible plus sign. So now I'm going to bring this down. Negative 4x less than 31 minus 3 is 28. So to get x by itself, we divide by negative 4. This purple thing is just a scribble. X, we divided by a negative, so you got to flip the symbol. X is greater than negative 7. So now down here, these ones are a little bit trickier. We're using fractions in different capacities. 15 and 16 are the same-ish. 17 is a little bit different. So this one is 3/4 times x plus 5 is greater than 11. So I'm going to minus 5. 3/4 times x greater than 11 minus 5 is 6. So since this is 3/4 times x, you can do the opposite, which is divide. Or you can write multiply by the reciprocal. It's really the same thing. It's just however you want to put it on your paper. So those fractions go away. X is greater than 8. The way I did that without a calculator is I did 6 times 4 is 24 divided by 3. You can also use your calculator to evaluate that. This scribble, there we go, did not want to go away. So now I would say this one, negative 5/6 times x minus 1 is greater than or equal to 14. So I'm going to add 1 on both sides. Negative 5/6 x is greater than or equal to 15. It's the same as our previous problem, except instead of multiplying by just the reciprocal, we have to include that negative in there. Oops. Negative 6 over 5 times negative 6 over 5. You can also divide by negative 5/6. So that cancels out. We multiply by a negative number, so we have to flip the symbol. 15 times negative 6/5 is negative 18. Now, just when you're getting the hang of the fractions, let's move to number 17. So we have negative 6 times x minus 2 divided by negative 2 is less than or equal to negative 6. We did this in our previous lesson. So that 6x minus 2 is stuck in the numerator. So even though we have a fraction, we're going to flip the script a little bit and do multiply to get rid of that fraction first. So this right here, we're dividing by negative 2, so I'm going to multiply by negative 2. And then it'll get rid of that big fraction on the bottom. And we started out, we multiply by negative 2. So I have 6x minus 2. So I have to flip-flop my symbol because I already multiplied by a negative. Negative 6 times negative 2 is a positive 12. Oh, goodness. And we're going to get a fraction. So now we're going to add 2 to both sides. 6x greater than or equal to 14. We're running out of room. So I'm going to divide by 6 on both sides. So 14 divided by 6 gives you a decimal, and it's a decimal that goes on forever. So just simplify 14 over 6 as a fraction, and you get 7 over 3. As a decimal, it would be 2.33333333. It goes on forever. All right, last problem on this page and in the notes. So we have 6 minus 1x. Oops, let me just clear that up. 6 minus 1x is less than 14. So there's an invisible 1 there. And remember, there's an invisible plus sign there. So we're going to minus 6 on both sides. Negative 1x is less than 8. And now we're going to divide by negative 1. When you divide by a negative, your symbol flip-flops. And that's it. Please make sure you ask for help when you're working on your homework if you need any help, and try your best. It's okay to make mistakes.